Spartiate! Quel est votre métier?
Filler of destiny.
Salutations.
Tu vois, mon frère, j'ai amené plus de soldats que toi.
When you were growing up and getting ready to leave the house after you graduated from high school, were you thinking about ways that you could improve your relationship with your parents? I don't think so. I know I wasn't. And it didn't seem like my parents were thinking about it either. My parents happened to be teen parents, and I think they were just looking to survive the process. They weren't looking to grow our relationship from raising me as a child to becoming an adult and having the adult-adult relationship. And I think that happens in a lot of homes. Today, I would like to share with you 7 points to ponder to improve your relationship with your parent or your adult child. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Mona Friday. I teach breathwork, emotional intelligence, and effective communication. So today I would like to share these 7 points.
You want to know what I do? My heart knows only virtue. My might upholds the weak. My words speak only the truth, and I am sworn to valor. If you want to be a knight of honor,
Good.
this is your oath. Rule number 1. A knight has courage. Battle is the test of a knight. Have the courage to undertake the difficult and tedious duties. Prepare to sacrifice all in exchange for wisdom. Justice must be tempered with mercy, or the pure truth can bring grief. You must not coward, but nobly dare. A true knight keeps his bravery, even in the midst of danger. May the lightning of your glory be seen, and the thunders of your onset heard from east to west. Rule number 2. A knight has mercy. One can make mistakes, but those who are good yield when they know their course is wrong, and seek to rid of all evil. Rule number 3. A knight has generosity. Uphold all that you can. Do all good that you can. Be generous with wisdom and energy, and command only through earned respect. A knight who shows the virtue of generosity is the master of his world. Rule number 4. A knight has faith. A knight, having given their word, seeks to fulfill it at all costs. Faith is to believe what you do not see, and its reward is to see what you believe. Put on your armor and rise. You are now a knight who bears the sword of the spirit and the shield of preservation. Rule number 5. A knight has hope. What defines us is how we rise after falling. Stand firm, and you will be the one to uphold the code in this unjust world. To be a knight of honor is to be a glimpse of hope in a world where hope can be forgotten. Rule number 6. A knight has nobility. Uphold your convictions at all times, especially when no one is watching. Live by honor and protect the innocent and defenseless. A true warrior fights for those who cannot fight for themselves. Rule number 7. A knight has justice. Let evil swiftly befall. Those who have wrongly condemned us, we will be the ones rendering everyone his due. Answer the calling for honor. Abstain from all unfairness and deceit. And at all times, speak the truth. Now, you must take your place. You have the will, the strength, to be the guardian of the ways of honor and courage. Fulfill your utmost duty. And you will make history, forever set in stone, like all great myths of old. Within the code, you will be reborn into the warrior within.
Tiger, tiger, burning bright in the forests of the night. What immortal hand or eye could frame thy fearful symmetry? In what distant deeps of skies burnt the fire of thine eyes? On what wings dare he aspire? What the hand dare seize the fire? And what shoulder and what heart could twist the sinews of thy heart? And when thy heart began to beat, what dread hand and what dread feet? What the hammer? What the chain? In what furnace was thy brain? What the anvil, what a dread grasp dare its deadly terrors clasp? When the stars threw down their spears and watered heaven with their tears, did he smile his work to see? did he who made the lamb make thee? Tiger, tiger, burning bright in the forests of the night, what immortal hand or eye dare frame thy fearful symmetry?
Study strategy over the years and achieve the spirit of the warrior. Today is a victory over yourself of yesterday. Tomorrow is your victory over lesser men. There is a student mentality in all of us that must be tapped into. A student is resilient. A student is disciplined. It is only through discipline that you will experience the freedom of a warrior. A student never surrenders. See, the strategy is the plan. The strategy, the game plan, the plan of action, the recipe, the how must be studied before the first step is taken. I am convinced that so many of us lose because of what we were not willing to study. We must grow a discipline to deliberately investigate what we are getting ready to enter into. We must be calculated as we enter into new seasons, into new relationships. This is the road to becoming a warrior. An experienced, skilled, and calculated soldier. A fighter, a game changer, somebody who refuses to stay down. This is somebody who is set apart from those who operate in the realm of normalcy. This is somebody who is above and beyond. We got a bit of a work ethic to go after it. A student is a disciple, and a disciple is disciplined. Disciplined to achieve the spirit of the warrior. They are perfectly positioned for victory.
The Viking.
Discipline is an invitation out of normalcy. A man who studies is a man who is allergic to average. So you are a warrior, and you don't even know it. Take a deep breath. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. After today, everything is about to change. Because change starts with you. To understand this is to know the difference between men and lions. You must understand that there is more than one path to the top of the mountain. And in this very moment, all you have is all you need. See, somebody lied to you and told you that life is about acquiring more to move forward. And what if I told you that getting to the top of the mountain was not about acquiring more, but about becoming more? That if you can become, then you will find your authentic path to the top. Everybody wants to go to the top, but nobody wants to discover new ways to climb there. Find your authenticity. Discover your identity. We're all told, if you want to get to the top, follow the leader. But that is a broken mentality. Yes, leaders are necessary, but we must be fully aware when we have been called to lead, to blaze our own trail, to discover a new way. It's daunting, it's exhausting to get to the top. But there is more than one way, and you will discover that way by not acquiring. So it is not the more that you get, the faster you will go. It is the more you become, the quicker you will elevate. And so getting to the top of the mountain has more to do with becoming than acquiring. What is your mountain? What is your trial? Who is the giant standing in front of you? Name it and defeat it. The climb is just as important as the arrival. The top is the end game, but the process is what will make you. Think lightly of yourself and deeply of this world. Life begins at the end of your comfort zone, at the end of your ego and your insecurities. But when you come to the end of yourself and the beginning of the understanding of our world, why we are here, and what is our purpose, then all of a sudden everything changes. Think lightly of yourself and deeply of the world. The world is vast. Over 7.5 billion people walk the face of this planet. There is so much here. Creation, the antelope, the trees, the mountains, the stars, people from every nation, in every tongue. And we have economy, we have industry, we have technology. We are more advanced than ever before. So take a moment and agree never to self-sabotage yourself. No more self-condemnation. That you cease to see the opportunities in this world. How beautiful our planet is. To think lightly of yourself and deeply of this world is an invitation out of your ego, out of your insecurities, out of what you think you cannot do. It is to look beyond your program. It is to think of your legacy. It is to think of what you will leave behind. It is to think of your contribution and your impact. Even in this moment, in the midst of trial, in the midst of tribulation, ask yourself the question, what can I contribute? You see, conflict is necessary. Trial is needed. It causes us to create, to be proactive, to be inventive. It moves us to become pioneers. What type of mark will you leave in the earth? What will be your legacy? Man has always been haunted by the vastness of eternity. And so we ask ourselves, when we are long gone, will our names remain? A man cannot understand the art he is studying if he only looks for the end result without taking the time to delve deeply into the reasoning of the study. Everything that you do, you need to ask yourself the question, why am I doing what I'm doing? See, everybody wants a ring, but nobody wants to practice. Practice makes progress. Practice brings us closer to the ring. Every time you get in that gym, every time you step on that field, every single moment that you study your craft and you become a master, you move from the mundane, from the average, to mastery. Mastery is an obsession. Those who are obsessed with the process of becoming are the ones who become. See, a lot of people They want that gold. They want that ring. But they don't want to put that work in. And in order to achieve, I must understand that I must study. I must study to move from average to mastery. It's the daily battle. It's the daily grind that prepares us and equips us to win the war. Why do you do what you do? Why do you want what you want? The question is why? Have you delved deeply into the reason why you do what you do?
I need you to take a moment and garner up all the belief that you have left in yourself and in the idea of what is possible to make this thing happen. The process is muddy. The process is murky. The process is dark. The process is cold. The process is going to leave you in places where you're going to feel like you have been abandoned, like nobody believes in you, nobody supports you. What is your why? Because if your why is powerful enough, then you can persevere through the process. What is it? Find it. When you don't see a light at the end of your tunnel, you got to remember the light that is burning inside of you that nobody is able to put out. There is not a person on this planet that can stop you.
It is a possibility that you are only doing what you are doing because somebody told you to do it. You are only studying what you are studying. You are only becoming what you are becoming because somebody told you to become it. Why are you doing what you are doing? And that why is going to come from a pure place, a pure, authentic, unadulterated place. Resentment and compliant are appropriate, neither for oneself nor others. See, resentment is a complex and multi-layered emotion that has been described as a mixture of disappointment, disgust, anger, fear, bitterness. When life hurts you, when people betray you, your greatest response, love, forgiveness. You must never be bitter. Your responsibility is to get better. See, every trial loves a good triumph. And so you've got to work your bounce back muscle. You have no regrets because you make the right decisions. You are a calculated conversationalist. And compliant is to agree excessively to be a yes man or a yes woman. See, life isn't just about learning, but it's about unlearning. To be compliant would be to be programmed, to be hypnotized by the affairs of this life, to be suggestible, that anytime anyone says anything, you believe it and you receive it. The question must be, what is your reality? Both in fighting and in everyday life, you should be determined, though calm. Meet the situation without tenseness, yet not recklessly. And this is an invitation into a lifestyle of balance. You gotta know when to talk, you gotta know when to be quiet. You gotta know when to learn, and you've got to know when to unlearn. You need to know when to be angry, but not bitter. We must be anxious for nothing, but to be deliberately calculated. Step into the mastery of keeping a cool head in a hot situation. You may want to go off right now. You may want to lose your mind, but it is imperative and extremely critical that you keep a cool head and be anxious for nothing. We must master the art of calm. To be calm is to be absent from violence, to show no feeling of nervousness, no anger, no strong emotion. To be calm is to be confident. To be calm is to be certain. You may be in the worst fight, battle, and war you've ever seen, but you must be confident that you're coming out on the other side. Calm, cool, and collected. So take a moment, breathe in and breathe out. What you have begun, you will finish. No matter the fight, the test, the battle, the life circumstance, you will meet every situation calm, cool, and collected. You got this. The truth is not what you want it to be. It is what it is, and you must bend to its power or live a lie. Everybody wants the future, but nobody wants to accept their current reality. See, truth is not what you want it to be. It is what it is, and you must bend to its power or live a lie. So many people keep telling themselves it didn't happen, but it did. And it hurt you, but it built you. It made you into something you would have never become had it not happened. One of the reasons why people can't grow, they cannot evolve, they cannot even enlarge their territory, they cannot shift their thinking, is because they are in denial. Denial of this truth will cause destiny to avoid you. See, one thing I can tell you is that those who are in denial of who they are and where they are, destiny will avoid them. It is an invitation into obscurity, into darkness. That is the lie that we want to live. A lot of us are generationally programmed to live a lie. Your parents lived a lie, and their parents lived a lie. And so you live the lie, and you believe the lie, and you get the results of the lie. See, the lie is like a bitter seed that has been planted in a garden, and you have eaten forbidden fruit. And your bloodline has eaten from the forbidden fruit for decades. And see, the truth is the truth. And you must bend to its power or live a lie. Nobody wants to bend. But there is beauty, there is brilliance in bending and yielding and surrendering. And you cannot bend without humility. You've got to break out of self-denial. I got to put down my ego. I have to put down my insecurities. I have to put down my pride. And I have to yield. I have to surrender. I have to let go of what was for what is. This is the reality. And the moment that I accept reality, all of a sudden, everything changes. When we accept the truth, and we bend to its power, and we step out of lying into living. This is freedom. The man who lives a lie is the man who is his own prisoner. The truth will set you free. Nothing more. The truth will set you free. Nothing more. I choose to live by choice and not by chance. I choose to make changes and not excuses. I choose motivation.
Salut Marc,
Manipulation.
bienvenue.
I choose to excel and not compete. I choose self-esteem over self-pity. I choose to listen to the voice from within versus the voices from without. I choose to fulfill my destiny. I choose to get the job done. I choose to finish what I started. No fear, no hesitation, no surprise, no doubt. Free yourself from the debilitating disease of fear. It has manipulated you long enough. It has tranquilized your faith. The fear of inadequacy, the fear of uncertainty, the fear of failure, the fear of not finishing, the fear of rejection, the fear of missing out, the fear of change, the fear of losing control, The fear of being judged. The fear of not being liked. The fear of something bad or traumatic happening. The fear of getting hurt. Many of these fears have left us in a state of paralysis, unable to move forward, unable to achieve. The time is now. Once you conquer fear with faith and love, there will be no hesitation. There will be no surprises, and there will be no doubt. In the face of adversity, you will be certain that in the end, you will. Anyone can give up. It's the easiest thing in the world to do, but to hold it together. When everyone else would understand if you fell apart, that is true strength. If you're going to stay in it, if you're going to win this fight, if you're going to overcome this enemy, against all odds, you're going to have to believe. You're going to need courage. You're going to need grit. You're going to need faith. Your courage must exceed the common sense of man. No man is free who cannot discipline himself. You will never have your destiny. You will never be able to afford your future unless you are disciplined. If you're going to fulfill your purpose, you will suffer the pain of persecution. Not everyone will understand why you are staying in the fight. But if your vision is locked in, you will attain that which you seek. To win any battle, you must fight as if you are already dead. Our lives are so short. There is no time to waste. The approach to combat and everyday life should be the same. We lose in life because we fail to take it seriously. We think it is a game, when in reality, it is warfare. And you will either suffer the pain of regret or the pain of discipline. When a soldier enters into battle, a soldier is focused, disciplined, innovative, creative, and purposeful. If we will approach our everyday lives like a trained and dedicated soldier approaches battle, we will win and not just exist. Everything you do must have meaning. You must focus and practice discipline in every moment for every task. You must discipline your thinking. You must discipline your conversation. You must establish your goals and accomplish them. You must use strategy to create the best outcomes. Every thought, every word, every action has a specific purpose. You must master the day. You must approach your life like a trained and skilled soldier approaches warfare. Life is not a game. This will not be easy, but in the end, you will win. Fight like a dead man, like you're dead to your insecurities, like you're dead to your vulnerabilities, like you're dead to the pain of the past. Fight like a dead man. When a man fights like he's already dead, he's desperate, he's dangerous, he's disciplined. Fight for your life. Claw your way into your future. Fight for your goal. Give it everything you have because you have nothing to lose. To have an underdog mentality. Like everybody's already counted you out. Like everybody's already told you you don't have what it takes. You don't measure up. That what you started, you will not finish. When you fight as if you are already dead, you are without restraint. You are a disruptor. You break all the rules because you have nothing to lose. You are desperate for resurrection, and you will do anything that is required to accomplish the goal you are setting out to achieve. I choose to live by choice, not by chance. I live life by design and not by default. I am conscious. I am aware. I have been awakened. I am disciplined. I am detailed. I am meticulous. I am articulate. I am aggressive and intentional and assertive. I design my life. I refuse to whine and whimper over lemons. When life throws me lemons, I build a lemonade stand. I will learn from my mistakes. Every day, I live my life by design and not by default. Every day, my passion is reignited. Success is my obsession. I establish my boundaries. I pray and meditate. I speak my desires boldly. I choose to make changes and not excuses. I choose motivation over manipulation. I choose to excel and not compete. I choose self-esteem over self-pity. I choose to listen to the voice from within versus the voices from without. I choose to fulfill my destiny. I choose to get the job done. I choose to finish what I started.
On décrate.
Courage. More than bravado or bluster, a knight must have the courage of heart to fight battles which are difficult, tiresome, or unglamorous, and to graciously accept the sacrifices involved. Anything that gives light must endure burning. Strength. A knight has his own God-given strengths. These must be developed daily, for a knight will gain more from working on his strengths than he will from trying to improve his weaknesses. The strong knight is aware of his weaknesses and works to develop his strengths. Temperance. Everything is permissible, but not everything is beneficial. The temperate knight knows to abstain from some things and holds all things in moderation. By restraint and control, the knight makes for himself an island which no flood can overwhelm. Humility. Not every battle can be won. In losing battles, the failing knight learns humility.
and the practical skills needed to win subsequent fights to come. The humble knight knows when to retreat to be restored. Patience. A hurried mind is an addled mind. It cannot see clearly or hear correctly. The patient knight is willing to wait and make time his ally. There is a moment for action, and with a clear mind, that moment is obvious. Mercy. Words and attitudes are dangerous weapons. A wound inflicted by an arrow heals, but a wound inflicted by harsh words settles in the heart. The merciful knight thus exercises compassion in his dealings with others. Generosity. A knight's treasure is not his own. It is his to grow and give away at the right time and in the right way. For a true knight earns all they can, saves all they can, and gives away all they can. To a true knight, wealth is only a resource. It is a tool to accomplish good and to fuel the working hand of God in his community, cause, and purpose in life. Nobility. Low-minded men are occupied solely with appearances, but the noble-minded knight upholds his convictions at all times, especially when no one else is watching. A knight's nobility brings him honor. Hope. In the hour of adversity, the good knight is not without hope, for he knows dark nights are followed by bright days. So times of bitter hardship are followed by seasons of sweet prosperity. Hope is ever present in the knight's positive outlook and cheerful demeanor. Courage, strength, temperance, humility, patience, mercy, generosity, nobility, hope.
Merci d'écouter YouTube Musique sur votre enceinte connectée. Se déhancher dans son salon, c'est super, mais pour danser sur vos morceaux préférés, vous n'êtes pas obligé de rester chez vous. Emportez votre musique partout grâce à l'appli YouTube Musique. Un week-end hors des sentiers battus, pas de problème. Passez à YouTube Musique Premium pour pouvoir télécharger votre musique sur votre téléphone et écouter vos morceaux préférés même quand il n'y a pas de réseau. Commencez votre essai sans frais aujourd'hui.
I found that nothing in life is worthwhile unless you take risks. Nothing. Nelson Mandela said, "There is no passion to be found playing small and settling for a life that's less than the one you're capable of living." Now, I'm sure in your experiences in school and applying to college and picking your major and deciding what you want to do with life, I'm sure people have told you to make sure you have something to fall back on. Make sure you got something to fall back on, honey. But I never understood that concept, having something to fall back on. If I'm going to fall, I don't want to fall back on anything. I want to fall forward. I figure at least this way I'll see what I'm going to hit. Without consistency, you'll never finish. So do what you feel passionate about. Take chances. Don't be afraid to fail. There's an old IQ test was 9 dots, and you had to draw 5 lines with a pencil within these 9 dots without lifting the pencil. The only way to do it was to go outside the box. Don't be afraid to think outside the box. Don't be afraid to fail big, to dream big. But remember, dreams without goals are just dreams. Reggie Jackson struck out 2,600 times in his career, the most in the history of baseball. But you don't hear about the strikeouts. People remember the home runs. Fall forward. Thomas Edison conducted 1,000 failed experiments. Did you know that? I didn't know that. Because the 1,001st was the light bulb. Fall forward. Every failed experiment is one step closer to success. You've got to take risks, and I'm sure you've probably heard that before, but I want to talk to you about why that's so important. You will fail at some point in your life. Accept it. You will lose. You will embarrass yourself. You will suck at something. There's no doubt about it. And I know that's probably not a traditional message for a graduation ceremony, but hey, I'm telling you, embrace it, because it's inevitable. In the acting business, you fail all the time. Early on in my career, I auditioned for a part in a Broadway musical. Perfect role for me, I thought, except for the fact that I can't sing. I didn't get the job. But here's the thing. I didn't quit. I didn't fall back. I walked out of there to prepare for the next audition, and the next audition, and the next audition. I prayed. I prayed. And I prayed. But I continued to fail, and fail, and fail. But it didn't matter, because you know what? There's an old saying, you hang around the barbershop long enough, sooner or later you're going to get a haircut. So you will catch a break, and I did catch a break. Last year, I did a play called Fences on Broadway. But here's the kicker. It was at the Court Theater.
Ok, je vais faire ma pause ici.
On
arrive à la fin.
The point is, every graduate here today has the training and the talent to succeed. But do you have the guts to fail? If you don't fail,
petite pause 15 minutes. Ceux qui sont là, et à toutes.
I'll say it again. If you don't fail, you're